What's going on? We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody who was on the live stream on my other channel, man. We did a stream for the Bears. In the Eagles game, we'll vote. On another game, we go live on. You can find it at Motor City Sports Talk on YouTube, man. Make sure you subscribe button, bell icon button. Make sure you check out my Patreon as well. The link's in the description. But Minnesota Timberwolves general manager and coach Tom Thibodeau, former Chicago Bulls head coach, former Doc Rivers assistant / defensive coordinator in Boston, is fired. One of the worst coaches in the NBA, bro. I don't understand it, man. I don't know how he lasted so long in Minnesota. I've been crying for this dude to get fired for years, man. I don't really care, like, for the Minnesota, sports town, but he just sucked as a coach, man. He had Minnesota playing slow, trying to make them play half-court basketball. When you had gunners, bro, you had dudes that can get up and down the floor. Wiggins, Towns, Butler, Teague is good at pushing the pace. You had Rose, when he healthy, is good at pushing the pace, but then again, he wanted to play half-court basketball with athletes. He wanted to play players 40 to 48 fucking minutes a night when they didn't need to. And he was just a bad coach. He just managed the team badly. He got bad fits. He tried to make them the Minnesota Bulls or the Chicago Wolves. He tried to make them into a Chicago franchise, bringing Gibson in there, bringing Rose over there, bringing Butler over there. And it didn't fit, and ultimately it showed that he wasn't a good all-around coach. He's a good defensive coach, but his philosophy sucked. Can't nobody in this league play 40 to 48 minutes every night. That's impossible to ask these dudes to play 40 to 48 minutes every night. Even if they young like Towns and young like Wiggins, or young like Teague for the most part, these dudes need a rest. You need a rotation. You cannot just run your stars into the ground. And that's why D. Rose got hurt in Chicago, because Tom Thibodeau was playing this dude 40 to 48 minutes every night. I think they was either blowing the team out or getting blew out in the playoffs when Derrick Rose tore his knee up. You can't do that. He was just a bad coach. And I was just saying, like, bro, if this dude was a brother, if he ain't had a complexion for the selection, he'd have been up out of there, bro. And then again, he should have been fired, bro. He better off just being the assistant. He ain't head coach material, man. And they gave him general manager power. Like, how did he get general manager power, bro? Like, what did he ever do to get that? Because he knew Doc Rivers and Doc Rivers had in L.A.? No, he need to focus on being a head coach. I don't think he was a head coach nowhere in the NBA before coming to Minnesota. So how can you hand him over general manager and head coaching power? He had personnel and head coaching. Obviously, it didn't work. I don't like that where you let the head coach be the general manager, too. That's just too much power for one dude. Get you a general manager. Let him hire a coach that can work. You moving on from there. I see Minnesota Timberwolves fans going crazy, man. Real talk, And I know they happy because I'm happy, man. I'm not even a Timberwolves fan. I don't dislike the Timberwolves, but it ain't a team that I'm looking at like, damn, I love the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it as like, I'm glad that he gone, man, because he don't have no place as a head coach in the NBA. He sucked. He the reason Derrick Rose's leg tore up and stuff of that nature, man. He good at preaching defense, but guess what? Minnesota wasn't good at defense. So if he ain't bringing a defensive aspect to the game, then what is he actually bringing? Now, I'm hearing some replacements being Fred Hoiberg. He was the Iowa State coach. He was an assistant GM with Minnesota before going to Iowa State. Then he was also the Chicago Bulls head coach they just got rid of, I think, in the middle of this season or something like that, or last season. So they really trying to go down the Chicago Bulls path again. They also considering Monty Williams, who was the coach that lost his wife when he coached down in New Orleans. He in the front office of the Philadelphia 76ers with Elton Brand after Jerry Colangelo got fired for creating a burner account and stuff of that nature. So I'm hearing I would rather see Monty Williams get the job, but I don't think he was ready to return to coaching. I'd rather him get the general manager job, after he lost his wife. But, Fred Hoiberg, please. I know a lot of the Timberwolves fans that I've been paying attention to, a lot of them been wanting them to get Kevin Garnett and get him the front office management job. But the owner really wanted to give it to Chauncey Billups. Flip Saunders, before he passed, wanted Chauncey to be the head coach, but Chauncey didn't want to be the head coach or the general manager. I guess he likes being on TV right now. A lot of Pistons fans, I'm from Detroit, wanted Chauncey to be the general manager here. but, you know, he didn't want to do it. So, you know, I see Chauncey Billups being a distant guy. I see Kevin Garnett being somewhere in there, but Fred Hoiberg and Monty Williams are the two names that I'm hearing most, you know, for the front office job. As far as the head coach job, they probably named some interim head coach already on the staff. So, also, you probably can also see some other shakeups when you get more coaches, when you get a general manager in there. They probably going to consider trying to move Andrew Wiggins or Karl Anthony Towns and probably starting to start over there. Jeff T got a pretty good contract over there as well, too. So, going to try to move on from them, man, rightfully so. But I'm glad Thibodeau gone. It's one of the worst coaches in the league, bro. He just meant to be an assistant. He just, you know, not even for college. He ain't meant for college, dude. His style might work better in college, but he just sucked as a coach on this level, man. He was single-handedly responsible for Derrick Rose's knee being torn up, playing him all them minutes when it wasn't necessary, man. But it's Goodfellas Sports TV. I appreciate everybody for checking in. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. I'll link an article in this description proving this to be factual. Like, once again, I appreciate everybody that jumped on the live stream for our Bears and Eagles live stream on my other channel, Motor City Sports Talk. You want to support me over there, you can. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, bell icon button once again. Also, we on Facebook, we on Twitter, got a Facebook group, and email if you want to reach out, DM me on social media if you want to email. If you got a business question, sponsorship inquiry, video requests, I accommodate those. Also, we got playlists, NBA, NFL, boxing, MMA, golf, tennis, women's boxing. We got plenty of playlists, hood series, hood classic or not, plenty play series. So check us out, you know, everything we got to offer. And also, you can check out my Patreon, especially if you're looking for free game, relationship advice, food for thought videos, our hood series content. Check that playlist off. We're moving that content over to the Patreon. It's $5 for that tier, $2 for the higher core raw and uncensored boxing tier. So check me out one time for the one-time boy, CJ Goodfellow.